Hello everyone, this is Rick Passek, FlyFish Fanatic, and welcome to my tying bench. Today we'll be tying another boatman pattern. You guys really seem to like the last boatman pattern I put up, the Disco Boatmen. This is another one that has been extremely successful for me. I based this one off of a design a pattern that Gary Hankes out of Alberta, Canada ties. So this is a little different than his, but based on his. So here we go. So we'll start off with a Hends BL 254N in a size 8. Tie these in an 8, 10, 12. Sometimes in a 14, but very rarely. I'm going to be using Semperfli Nanosilk in red, just so I can get that red head, because I don't want to put a bead on this. I don't want to have any weight. For the shell back, I'm going to be using some shell scud back. This one, they call it stonefly and dragonfly nymph elastic scud back. It's from a company called Royal CC. And it's kind of a browny copper kind of color. And then for the body, I'm going to be using some Semperfli micro legs in olive. And then for the legs themselves, I'm going to be using some Crazy Legs pumpkin olive with black flake. That's it. Um, Tie this one with black ones as well, straight black legs. But so just going to start my thread, and I want to stop at about the point of the hook. Um, this is a fairly long hook for this pattern, but there's a reason behind it. I don't want to crowd my gap with anything. So I'll take my scud. I'm just going to taper into it, about a quarter of an inch long. The taper. Okay, and I'm just going to catch this in at the back end here. Just barely catch it in. I want that part of that taper to be there. So there we go. Just a little bit. Nice and tight. Get that out of the way. Take my micro legs from Semperfli. Tie these in. Back to where I stopped with the stud back. Come forward. I'm going to wrap forward here. Let it go. Don't let it go. And then let me just come back a bit. Make a bit of a fatter body here. Tie that off. Don't cut that off. Just keep it out to the back. Then I'm going to take my legs and I'm going to offer it up to one side like that on top. And I just want to make sure that's right on the side. So I'm just going to give this a turn, make sure it's right on the side, which it is. Okay, and then make sure keep this stuff out of your way if you can. Then I'm just going to bring these legs kind of forward as well, this side, and then I'm just going to kind of figure right through without capturing any of that end. It's sitting on top, and now I'm going to take my straggle. Here, cut this a little bit longer. Then I'm going to push these back, go in front. Cut that one, but didn't. Yeah, definitely could have cut the straggle a little longer. Makes it a little bit more difficult to work with. That's okay. We'll get her done. So 2, 3, 4 wraps right in front of those legs. Grab your thread. Make sure that's tied off nicely there. Okay, once the legs are tied, I'm just going to cut this away a little bit just because it's in my way more than anything. Just trying to get this leg. It's not cooperating with me right now. I'm just trying to get it to train back, but I might do that when I put the scud back over, which it probably will here. So I'm just going to stretch it a bit, put one loop over top, and then I'm going to really give this a pull. And then I'm going to pull this back and go in front a couple of times. And back, just give it a half hitch whip finish, just to make sure this doesn't slip on you. Not going to cut that off yet. Really give that a good stretch. Pull that off. Make sure your legs are sticking out. Now I want these legs to be even, so I'm going to cut that about there. And I want these legs, when you fold them back, I want them almost as long to the bend of the hook. So you can see that they're right to the bend of the hook. That's what I want. Okay. Now I've already got one set of whip finish in, but I'm just going to build a little bit more of a red head here to represent those red eyes. So that is the finished product. Now I want to show you guys something else, because this one here did, and I do both on purpose. This one didn't, I wasn't trying to do it this way, but um, this one, you see how far forward the legs are on this one? It's right behind the head. And then if you take a look at this one, you can see how far the legs are back, right? They're about quarter to almost halfway back in the body. This is how I prefer them, but I do tie some this way too. And the reason is um, it's just the movement of these legs are a little bit more pronounced when they're way forward. Like this will still obviously have your the legs will move well, but this is a lot more pronounced when they're further forward like that. So I'll tie both styles, but I definitely do prefer tying it like this. So you'll tie halfway up, and then you'll tie in your legs, and then fold your legs back and do the other half of your body um, with your silly legs. Sorry, with your micro legs, straggle. So it just all depends, and then I'll put a coating of. I'll do it with this one since it's already there. Yeah, like I said, it all depends. I like tying both styles, but prefer the other one. Where are we? I just got a whole new kit here, so I'm just trying to figure out where everything is. Got a new storage system, that hairline fulminator storage, so it's kind of cool. I'm just getting used to it. So I'm just going to give a little bit of a back on this. Not huge. Just give it a bit of a back on it, and that'll protect that scud back, right? So because that scud back is going to be your weak point. That and the rubber legs. If they get bit off, I mean, you toss it because you just don't. It's not the same if the legs are off. One big hint though, and I know this sounds kind of silly, but make sure your legs are as equal as possible, and make sure your legs are past up to that the bend of the hook, past the body. If you take a look at the real boatmen, they do have predominantly long legs, and if you don't have them cut properly, as you're pulling this through the water, this will spin. So you got to make sure that your legs are pretty darn close to the same. right? If they're off by a quarter of an inch or something like that, it'll spin in the water. So there's your finished boatman. Like I said, I prefer it with the legs forward, but like I said, sometimes you just want that extra little bit of leg movement, and you you put them further forward. This one here is a little further back again. So this is kind of the progression, right? All the way up, a little bit further back, and halfway back. So okay. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Like I said, it seems like you guys really liked that last Boatman video, so I figured I'd post this one fairly quickly because it is Boatman season here in Western Canada, Western US. It's they're definitely on the move. They're definitely starting to move around, and we had a few landing in the boat, and we had a lot of definitely had a lot of throat samples with these. Just some of these fish were just gorged on them. So, alrighty, hope you guys enjoyed it. Ta-la, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.